na tukue pamoja kuimarisha Kenya, ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
Hello there, this is Farm Kenya right here on KTN, and of course it's Tuesday. You know, we take you from the farm to the market and also to the plate. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi, and today we'll be talking about eco-hydro system of farming, hydroponic system of farming. And we'll be talking to Dan Wanderi, who is from this particular farm. We'll be looking at how he does it and what is it when it comes to the produce at the end of the day. Let's get right into it. All right, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. So let's look at your journey. What really motivated you to go into this type of farming?
Very good. The intention was to create a solution. I'm gifted in innovation, and during COVID, I saw a gap in the agricultural and food systems. Because there was lockdown, there was challenges, logistical challenges to move food from the rural areas to urban areas. And then I got thinking, how do we convert now the urban communities into food producers, that in such a scenario they are able to produce their own food and address the biggest challenge in urban areas, in cities and towns, which is access to land. So they have balconies, they have rooftops, they have backyards, perimeter walls. How do we help them to also be food producers sustainably using those small spaces? That was the motivation. And I started with a pilot on my own balcony when I created my own first tower and a simple vertical hydroponic garden, just to see how the experience would be. That was way back in 2020.
And now that you've spoken about the experience, yes. 2020, we're in 2025. What has been the experience, and what have you discovered with this type of farming?
To my shock, I discovered that agriculture is quite gratifying, because I come from another background. My background is in communication, and then I ventured into IT world, purely technical world, ethical hacking, robotics. That has been my main work. But when I ventured into this, I realized there are so many people who require such a solution. So as an innovator, you get that gratification when you solve a certain problem. So the embrace, the way the community, the market responded was very gratifying. And with that, the journey has been very good, because it has opened doors where probably my education did not, my previous job did not, but through innovation I've been able to do much than I was able to do previously. Yes.
All right. And now let's get into the technicalities. Let's look at hydroponic farming, the materials that you use, what is required, because many a times when people hear about hydroponic farming, you believe that there should be something plastic there, there should be something that is supposed to be put maybe outside the balcony in order. So just take us through the materials that you use. What is it that gives this particular material the go-ahead? Like it's the best to use in hydroponic farming?
Sure. Just to define hydroponic, hydroponics is simply soilless farming. It's the science of growing crops or plants without using soil.
Yes.
And there's a very good reason why we do that. One is to eliminate all soil-borne diseases and make it even possible for people to do vertical farming. Because sometimes when you do it soil-based, there are a lot of challenges. So with an objective that we want to make every urban household a food producer, we use locally available resources. These are PVC pipes that we take through a process and convert them into gardens. So our main raw material is PVC pipes, 4 inches and 6 inches. 6 inches for the tower gardens that we convert, perforate and shape into a tower garden, which is our fast moving product. And tower garden is just made of PVC, just standard size, and we have different types of sizes, to 1 meter in terms of height, 24 plants, and then the standard one that we have for 48 plants is about 5 feet tall. So these are locally available resources, and the growing media. Kenya, because of the Rift Valley, we have a lot of volcanic mountains, so the growing media is locally available. So we are able to make inexpensive micro growers in terms of hydroponic solutions, either as tower gardens, mini tower gardens, wall gardens, hanging gardens. Eventually also, we are also venturing, not really venturing, we are into it currently, now into commercial aspect.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll get to the commercial one. So now that you've said the material that you use, what goes into setting it up? How do you set it up? Because you've said it's soilless. So what goes into that in order for it now to hold the plants? Just take us through that.
We package, we sell the tower as a package. Why? We want it to make it very convenient. You see, there's also the demographic issue or a social issue we're also trying to overcome. The fact that the average age of farmers in Kenya is about 55 years.
Yes.
Meaning, we are also trying to attract young people into agriculture. So, the fact that tower gardens comes inclusive of the tower garden itself, the growing media, seedlings of your choice, a drip system so there's no manual watering, the base, and then we come and do the installation, plus the nutrients. The nutrients is there, that's the food that the plants consume. So we do the solutions as a complete package. And then beside the product is the service around it. We ensure that we go with you through the journey until at least you make your first harvest. By then you will have learned how to interact with the systems, you have gained the knowledge, and then you can be independent. Yes.
So let's look at a regular farmer at home, and they want to get into this type of farming. What is it that they need to do in order for them to get the solution that you've spoken about, in order for them to get this particular vertical system? How do they, if they are not even, if they're not in Nairobi, let's say they're not in Nairobi, what other materials can they use in order for them to hack hydroponic farming?
There's something called DIY, do it yourself.
Yes.
So we get out of requests on, now, if I don't want to do the standard towers, what else can I use? You can use, if you have one, the first thing you need to have is the knowledge. Because without the knowledge or the information, you will not be able, you may have the materials but you're not able to do it. So the first thing is to ensure that you have the information. Second, the locally available resources like these empty jerry cans, containers, even the waste PVC. Sometimes you build a home and there are leftovers. You can convert them into gardens. Containers, water bottles is waste. You can convert it, have to be creative. The good thing about hydroponics is this: if you're creative, you're able to play around with so many materials, including these with water bottles. You can just walk into any landfill and pick and convert it into a garden. So it's a matter of creativity. So many things, so many materials, even polythene. These polythene bags, this way you can just customize it and create a small garden just on your small space on your backyard. Tires, old tires, those empty jerry cans, you just cut them, customize it, ensure you can get. But if you need guidance, we're always there to ensure that DIY project that you want to do, we can also help you, because sometimes you may want to do it, but information is an issue.
Okay. All right, so let's look at the crops. What crops can be planted with this type of system? And if they can't be planted with this kind of system, can they also use another different way, the way you've said tires? So just give us the number of crops that a farmer can put in this type of system.
Currently, we have been able to do more than 20 varieties of crops. Ideally, through hydroponics, you can grow any crops that doesn't have a taproot. The only issue that limits what you grow is the size of the pipe. Otherwise, if you have a huge tank, you can even do banana or even a fruit tree. But you have to accommodate that space for the taproot. Now that because now we don't want to go that line and they don't have that spaces because we're focused on the urban communities, we grow a lot of vegetables from kales, spinach, curry kales, tomatoes, capsicum, red, yellow and green, onions, herbs, mint, oregano, thyme, sage, basil. You do it very, very easily using our gardens, as long as the plant does not have a taproot. However, if a plant has a taproot, you can just create a big container if you have the means to do it. It will still grow. Yes, because basically what the growing media does is to replace the role of the soil and play the role of soil and eliminate the soil-borne diseases.
And when you encounter plants that are not really growing in this type of system,
Yes.
What could be wrong? And if you've really ever encountered plants that are not, they have stunted growth, they're not moving, maybe this period when they're supposed to be at a certain size, they're still stagnant where they were, what happens in that scenario? And is it even easy for that to come by?
Yes, the reason why we walk the journey with our clients is to ensure that they make their first harvest. Meaning, sometimes we encounter challenges where maybe the farmer did not feed the nutrients. You see, this is different. Hydroponics is different from the conventional farming, because in hydroponics, the plants depend on you as a person to ensure that in the nutrient reservoir, you put the right nutrients. So if you encounter such challenges, we always look at the feeding program. What is the feeding program that the farmer used? Did they skip some of the nutrients? Because if it is standard growth, it means there's a deficiency for something. So we analyze and say, now, for you, we see these are turning like yellows. If you have vegetables, we can see the deficiency for nitrogen. So what do we do? So in our nutrients formula, we increase the amount of nitrogen and remedy that. Yes.
Okay. And I've also seen around your farm, you also have seedlings that you grow. Take us through the process of the seedling and how it has really elevated this type of farming and how it is connected to hydroponics type of farming.
We do our own seedling propagation, also soilless, using a growing media we call coco pit and also trays. And the reason we do that is because when we give you a hydroponic solution at our garden, a spiral garden, a wall garden, it comes inclusive of seedlings of your choice. So we took it upon ourselves to ensure that we propagate on the side our own seedlings to create a complete ecosystem. So we just get trays, get the growing media, get the seeds we want, and then propagate. And then that's where we get the seedlings and transfer to the sites as we install to clients.
All right.
Yes.
Let's go back to now the vertical one and look at a farmer who has used the system, and they want, of course, they've harvested whatever crop was there. Now they want to clean the particular vertical or the horizontal one.
Yes.
How do they go about it, and how do they make sure that at least it's ready for the next planting?
There's something good about hydroponics using the growing media, because the growing media is a one-off thing. You recycle on and off. So if, say, you harvest and you want to do the next season, if there was no disease that you noticed from the growing media, there's no need to do anything. You just need to source a seedling and put into the grow hole, and the cycle continues.
Okay.
But if you realize there were some infections, some diseases, you just need to get it out of the system and then sterilize. You sterilize, it's very easy how to sterilize using warm water. You can also buy some sterilizing solutions. Also, there are other locally available means to sterilize. So when you sterilize, you just take it back to the tower, get the seedlings, and then you have now done another cycle. Yes, using the same growing media.
So when it comes to chemicals, of course, fertilizer and all these types of additives that are put in plants, and you find that they end up spoiling the way the plant is supposed to be. Do you advise a farmer who is using this kind of system to use the fertilizers that are there in the market?
Basically, they are very good hydroponics, when it comes to hydroponics, we call them just nutrients. That's the common language in the world of hydroponics. However, what you feed the plants, the source is what matters, because you're depending on water, is fertilized water that is used to feed the plants. So the source of nutrients can be either from other sources like rabbit, vermiliquid, or any other organic source. Synthetically, there are hydroponics fertilizers or nutrients available, and they are safe. They are good to use. Only that, use as guided. Yes. So you can use. However, when it comes, organics is good. However, sometimes in this kind of a system, it's always good to use what is scientifically proven. You should give the plants for maximum productivity.
All right.
Yeah.
So a farmer has ventured into this, and they are saying now they want to go the commercial side. So, and they want a bigger type of the vertical system and the size of the area that they want to plant. So, does that really matter when it comes to this type of farming? Can you still use the same vertical systems that we are seeing that you have here, or you'd require now a bigger type of hydroponic system?
When you talk about commercial, it's just a matter of numbers.
Yes.
The higher the numbers, you change from subsistence to commercial. It's just about numbers. So it's a matter of, if for someone who wants just a kitchen garden, you can put from as less as 1 tower to about 10 towers.
Yes.
Basically, that's enough for an average Kenyan family. But higher than that, 20 towers, 30 towers, 100 towers, like we have done for 100 towers, we are doing another for 500 towers. It's just a matter of the numbers that you want to achieve. It's the same case like in conventional farming.
Yes.
When you want to do commercial project, you decide, do I want to do it in 5 acres, 10 acres, 100 acres? It is the same case. I want to do a commercial project. What numbers do I want to achieve? I want to achieve numbers equivalent to 5 acres of land, because an acre of land takes between 15,000 to 19,000 plants.
Okay.
That is equivalent to 300 towers to 400 towers, which is equivalent to 50 by 100 plot. So it means what you could produce in an acre, you can produce in 50 by 100 plot. So it's about numbers. If you wanted to achieve a produce for 2 acres, you get 2 plots, 50 by 100. You have between 600 to 800 tower gardens, and you have achieved a commercial number. Yep.
All right. So how easy is it to manage, for example, the numbers that you're talking about? Let's say you have 100 towers, you have 200 towers. How easy is it to manage that? If you look at the conventional type,
yes,
and you look at this.
Anyone venturing into agribusiness, commercially, whether it's big or small, is always about numbers. Like in another business, there's something called cost of production. This cuts a lot of cost of production. Why? Number one, there's no land preparation. There is no cost of weeding. If you are farming something like tomato, by the time you finish the life cycle of the tomato, you have weeded probably twice minimum or thrice. In this case, it's 0. The amount of water that is used to sustain 1 tower, which has 48 plants, is less than 1 liter a day. It means you save up to 80% compared to conventional farming. Look at the labor. You only need to open the drip system for about 5 to 7 minutes in the morning and in the evening. So you don't need like a farmer, an employee there full time to take care of the 100 towers. No, you need to spare, that's less than 20 minutes in a day, to open the dripper for 5 minutes in the morning and the evening. That's it, until maybe if you're doing something that will require pruning. So cumulatively, the cost of production using this kind of system, hydroponics towers, is way less compared to conventional farmer. Meaning, when you go eventually to the market, your profit margin is higher compared to someone who did in the normal soil.
Okay.
Those are the economics around this kind of farming commercially.
All right. So even as you spoke about the water that the plants need in a day, also the temperature. Give us a little bit about how the temperatures are controlled, because I can see there's a covering here. So that means that there's some type of temperature that needs to be under which the plants thrive. So give us that.
True. Depending on the kind of crop you want to do, let me just use some variety. If you're going to do tomatoes, there's always an option. You go and ask, I want to buy a greenhouse variety. That will inform the kind of structure that you do. However, this kind of farming does not require any special kind of setup like in a greenhouse or a level of temperatures. That decision is driven by what kind of plant you want to do and the variety therein. Also the environment, because beside offering a shade, it is a mechanical way to keep the pests away. Like there are environments we go and there are monkeys around and you don't want to farm for the monkeys.
Yes.
So it's a mechanical way to keep them off. At the same time, when we enclose the structures, we reduce the chances of using agrochemicals, because we try as much as possible not to use chemicals to control the pests. So with the enclosure, it reduces the chances of pests, like butterfly to come and lay eggs there. Over in a couple of days, you have caterpillars food in your farm. So they are dynamics. But for urban farmers, maybe you have a balcony, you don't need to worry whether you need a shade. Yes. Maybe for someone doing bigger projects, it's something you can consider depending on the environment. However, no specific temperature is required. However, in hotter regions, because we have done this in northern Kenya, we use misters to control the temperature. Yes.
Okay. When it comes to the amount of money that you used to set up such a structure, what went into that? And also, even before we get to the structure, the towers, how much do they go for, and where can, if someone wants to buy them, where can they get them? Can they also order them online? So, because you see, we're in the online age, so give us a perspective when it comes to that.
Very good. We have solutions for everyone. For commercial farmers, those who want to do big project, for just home use. We have the smallest package we have is a mini tower for 24 plants, a complete package with seedlings, drip system, the nutrients. It's 2,500. That's the entry level for a small kitchen garden. And then we have standard tower gardens for 48 plants, with everything, including installation, at 4,500. So that's the entry level for anyone who wants to do.
Okay.
And for commercial project, it is the same tower that you just do numbers. I want 100 of them.
Okay.
Comes to 450,000. I want 50. I want 10. So just do the numbers based on your budget. So we make it very flexible that you can fit your budget. Do you want 2 towers for your balcony? Fine. I want 100 for my commercial project. You just do the 4-5 times 100. You just arrive. It's very easy, and it comes inclusive of everything that it requires. Yes.
All right. So we're going to go for a short break, but when we come back, we're also going to be looking at some of the nitty-gritties when it comes to hydroponic system of farming. Don't go too far.
Kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa mkulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Kenya.
Fix moments of pure love wrapped in comfort, because every smile deserves the best protection, from tiny toes to cozy cuddles, snuggles, and giggles made extra soft.
Morphix ina-absorb like whoop. Imagine haiwezi leak in 50 different movements. Makofi to both babies and Morphix. Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
We value your feedback and welcome your comments, queries, and complaints regarding our content. You can get in touch with us via SMS on 22151, call 0719 012 111 or 0732 142 000 or email feedback@standardmedia.co.ke. Our PO Box number is 30080-00100 Nairobi, or deliver to our offices at Standard Group Center, Mombasa Road, Nairobi.
Unasonga huko kilo mahali mbali unatoa then you come back when you are not near part. Sawa sawa.
Okay, mtosi.
Usipo umeniitiza wazimu sasa. Nimekuja tu kwa sababu umeniambia kuna nini?
Sasa nikwambie mama.
Hatuna kitu mama.
Mwambie. Ile kitu utaenda kunjionea leo. Sikundangani. Ni ajabu.
Makaa inaendaje kwa nyama? Na mimi ndio nauliza. Isi senyu sinaingiaje kwa makaa? Kwani nikikona ingo hivi mikakati ninjeke kona. Ndio ngone kwa. Tuta fuata vile tuli. Unajua kitu moja inaitwa mikakati.
Leta mtu wa manage nyumba yake. Mimi msichana nitafuta hapa. Nilete panga inikate. Inikate miguu. Excuse me sister, kidogo. Ani majirani wako?
Kabisa. My good neighbor.
Na wewe? Ulikucha lini?
Nashingo, twende.
Tupige hiyo kitu yenye mna. Come on.
Every now and then, fake news might pull a few strings, but when it comes to reporting the facts, there's only one tune we dance to, our own. For more than 100 years, The Standard has delivered insightful fact-based journalism, and you can't fake that.
A whole new world is waiting.
Welcome to Evergreen Mansion, Miss Jane. Miss Jane.
How come you all knew what I looked like when I booked online for this reservation? A ghost! Am I the only one who can see that ghost?
You need to shut up and listen because you are the ghost. Starting today, Evergreen Mansion will be your home until your soul finally crosses over to the afterlife. You still have 40 days to visit your family for a while.
Then how are we going to withdraw your cousin's money?
Give me that!
Let's start inside. Let's move fast.
I'm dead!
There's a ghost! What are you doing here? You're trespassing.
Kwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima kuwa mshindi. Kuwa na uhakika sasa, kukulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja. Kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Kenya.
All right, welcome back, and today we are looking at Eco-Hydroponic system of farming, and we're going to be looking at how Dan is doing it in his farm. Dan, take us through. Now, we have some rabbits here.
Yes.
Why are they in this particular farm?
We have a wonderful relationship with these rabbits because I feed them the excess vegetables and they provide me with a very good fertilizers, which is the rabbit urine. As you can see, the structural system is created in a way that we harvest the rabbit urine that we use as a fertilizer, as a foliar feed, and also for pest control.
Okay.
So that's why we have the rabbits here for that relationship.
to thrive.
To thrive.
So, still on the rabbits, when it comes to how often you collect this, how often do you collect it, and at what point do you say, okay, this is enough now for me to take it to the plants?
You see, as long as the rabbit are eating, they will still urinate. So the gutter is continuous. As any day they do that, we have a 20-liter jerry can here, which as soon as is filled up, we get another container. So we got our buyers for the tower gardens, they also require this. So it comes from here and then we give to our to our clients.
And the jerry can that you have is a 20-liter.
It's a 20-liter.
So is it, by the end of the day, is it usually filled?
No, it takes about a week or so to fill a 20-liter jerry can.
Okay.
Yeah, which is enough for quite a number of towers.
All right.
Yes.
So after a week is when you can maybe collect.
Yes.
Okay.
We get 20 liters every week. Yes.
Okay. And the droppings, do you also collect the droppings?
We also clean up the droppings and mix. We also do composting with them and create a manure. However, even if it's not soil based, we take it to the other farm.
All right. All right. I think now we can move and look at the. I can see you have some seedlings here.
Sure.
Take us through what plants we have here and how long have they been on this particular seedling system?
We focus mainly on vegetable seedlings. Like here, we have different types. We have spinach, we have spring onions, we have calicales, we have kales, we have tomatoes, we have broccoli, we have cucumber, we have dania. All those, a lot of vegetables. Like this one is just spinach that go with the towers. Yes.
And how have they, since you put the seeds here?
Yes.
How long have they been on this seedling system?
Depending on which variety, it takes about 2 weeks to a month, depending on which variety. Like the tomato to take a month to be ready.
Okay.
Others like salads, lettuce, spring onions, 3 weeks will be enough for you to pluck it and transplant. So depending on it, but 2 weeks to a month, depending on variety.
All right. Let's move also to this particular one. And I can see this one's a little bit smaller.
They are in different sizes, and basically we ensure that we have continuous supply, so we don't plant at the same time. We do weekly planting so that every week we have new seedlings ready for the market. So basically, it's a cycle we arrange.
These ones are a week old.
These are a week old. We anticipate that they will be here in the trays for another 3 weeks until they are ready. But if you look at the far end, we already have another batch that is ready, and in between there's another batch that is not very ready. It's not smaller like this. In between. Yes.
All right. So I guess now from here is when now you get the seedling to plant on the tower.
Yes.
Right. So can we get one?
Sure.
At
Absolutely.
least and see how we're going to do it.
Let's demonstrate using a mint. A mint is a very common herb.
Wow, mint.
Mint
Yes.
is a unique herb with a very
Can I also
unique
take
aroma.
one?
Yeah, sure.
Take one as well.
Yes.
Right.
So for our clients who have these towers, the planting is very easy. It takes less milliseconds, just a minute for you to plant. So you just go to your towers, find where you have an empty grow hole. It's called a grow hole, and you just pick up a seedling from your propagation tray like this one, and then just simply insert on the grow hole like this.
Just insert.
Just insert on the grow hole.
Okay.
That's it. You have just planted. That's how.
Let me
easy
put
it
mine
is.
as well.
Yep.
Let's insert. Yes.
Very easy. Meaning you are a lawyer, you are an executive. you don't need to worry that you went for a pedicure and you dirty your fingers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go in a suit, as you can see.
Okay. So, as you've placed it there,
yes.
Do you need what is the management system when it comes to taking care of it for it not to become, for it not to be dry,
Yes.
for it to get the nutrients that are within this tower?
As you look at this tower, it has a piping on top. This is the source of water.
Yes.
And it is just plain water, it's fertilized water. So this is the source of water and the nutrients. So you are able, it has a button dripper here, so you're able to regulate and feed all the plants uniformly for just 5 to 7 minutes in the morning, 5 to 7 minutes in the evening. That is for the day.
Okay.
And you can keep observing. If you just sense the dryness or see the growing media is dry, or the plants themselves, they can just show that they are lacking something, withering or something like that, you can look at the dripper, whether it has water or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this particular tower,
yes,
the solution that we see inside,
yes,
what does it contain?
In here, we have a volcanic rock. It's called growing media. It's called pumice. It's a volcanic rock that is used specifically for hydroponics instead of soil. And as you can see, it's very porous, meaning it allows oxygen and water. That's why you can see there's a lot of uniformity from top to bottom,
yes,
because it allows the flow of water. It increases permeability. Yes.
Right. And so when it comes to, do you mix this with anything, or it's just this?
No, this is just plain.
Okay.
This is just plain because this is just a media to hold the plants in place, allow water and oxygen.
Okay.
And hold the plants in place. However, the source of food for the plants is in the water. Is the nutrients in the water in our nutrient reservoir.
Okay.
Yes.
So what would you say farmers usually do wrong when it comes to this type of farming?
Yes.
Where do they go wrong? Because a farmer might plant their seedling from the seedling tray. They bring it here.
Yes.
And then they say, okay, now let me see how it moves.
Yes.
A week later, it's still like that, even after giving it water or making sure that all the procedures are followed. But what is that one thing that farmers usually go wrong? Because this is not like a conventional type of farming. Yes.
Well, I think the common mistakes we have come along is to where farmers assume that because they just feed the water, that's the only thing that the plants requires. It is the same case. A human being, you cannot survive with water. So that's the common mistake that many farmers assume that because you have water, either less nutrients or too much. Thus affecting both ways. You should not do too much or too little. That's the common mistakes. However, if you follow the instructions that we just give you, 100% sure they will thrive and you must harvest. A must.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's move. I've seen you have very many plants here.
Yes.
And even before moving,
yes,
I can see you have some type of drip system here.
Yes.
Explain to us about this.
Now, as you can see, we have different. Number one, we have different types of, different sizes of gardens, mini towers and the towers. And the essence for the mini towers, one, they are very good for creeper plants because they give you room for you to do staking. And for whoever doesn't need to do much. So these are the mini towers.
Okay.
And they come for a standalone dripper, less than 10 towers. Each tower comes with an independent dripper.
Okay.
You see, you can put a 2-liter bottle or 1-liter bottle here, but it comes because of this dripper that you put on top of the tower to ensure that the tower garden can get the source of nutrients and the water and the nutrients. Also, if you have more than 10 towers, there is this piping that we do.
Oh, the piping.
The piping.
The one that has, okay.
Because if you are doing quite a number, you don't need to have each tower with a dripper. So you do a drip system with a raised tank where we pump water and then the water flows through gravity to the towers.
Okay.
That's the main way to do the drip system.
Right.
Yep.
So something interesting here.
Yes.
Even the climbing types of plants, you've found a system of putting it up. So
yes,
tell us a little bit about this and what went into this.
The good thing about this kind of farming is that flexibility to grow quite a wide range of crops in the most unusual place. Imagine having some passion fruit, some cucumber on your balcony. It's also ornamental aspect.
Yes.
So we have found a way to do creeper plants, and as you can see, this is cucumber. well staked, as you say, it has a mature fruit.
Yes.
So you can see you are able to do capsicum, but with the same kind of a system. Capsicum, tomato.
Someone can also do passion fruit.
Passion fruit. We have done watermelon. You only need to ensure you take care of the weight of this fruit, and that is what we have done here. And we have been able to grow cucumbers.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move and look at the next type of. So what do we have here?
Now we get to these towers. These are standard for 48 plants. And as you can see, they also do quite a wide range of crops. And now on this tower, we have an exotic vegetables called bok choy. It's a Chinese spinach.
Okay.
And for those who love kienyeji, you're also covered. We have some amaranth here, that is terere mchicha.
Wow, and that is, I didn't know that something big as this can also be supported here.
Oh yes, as you can see, has very healthy leaves. Look at the size of that chicha. It's very nice.
Yes.
So you are able to do it just easily there. Kienyeji, this is kienyeji, this is chicha. And then on this next tower, we have African nightshade, managu. Kenyans love this managu with a bit of some meat. You got a very nice
yes. And what do we have here?
We have some kales here, and there's something very important to note that even if you see here that we have maybe one variety of crops per tower, it's very important to note that you can mix up to 6 types of crops in one tower. So you can do kales, do spinach, do curly kales, do dania in one single tower.
Wow. So like that will not affect.
Absolutely.
All right.
The feeding program is almost the same. So we have curly kales here. It is mixed with some broccoli here, and then on top we have these normal kales. Yes.
All right, let's move on and look at what we have here as well. You can see the one that you said, the Chinese.
Yes, the Chinese spinach, bok choy. They call bok choy or pak choy. It takes about 45 days to mature. So these are the normal groceries that give you, like kales, you have about 5 weeks, you start making your first harvest, and you'll harvest it for more than 5 months.
All right. So let's look at the particular tower.
Yeah.
Where do you usually source it from?
Yes.
And is there any other material that can be used instead of that? Let's first of all look at where you source it from.
We actually don't source the towers. We make them ourselves.
Okay, these towers?
Yes.
Okay.
Eco-Hydroponic Gardens makes the towers, customize them, propagates it as the whole process.
Okay.
What we do is basically buy the pipes and do the rest of the fabrication.
So where do you usually buy the pipes from?
We have local suppliers because these are normal hardwares.
Yes.
Normal hardwares, unless we have a big order that we can get, manufacturers of pipes. Yep, there are quite a lot of companies that supply. They are locally available in the next hardware, locally.
Okay. All right. And now, for example, if someone wants to use iron sheets,
yes,
instead of using this particular material, is that going to affect?
It is not advisable to use any metallic thing in such kind of a system. Why? There's something called corrosion.
Yes.
You see, this is not plain water. There's a reaction with the nutrients. So what happens, because of the inside of the pipe, the water is fertilized. So there is going to be corrosion. Eventually, that becomes poisonous. So you don't use anything that metallic, unless probably it's stainless or something like that. However, it becomes very expensive to produce. It is not cost effective. So ideally, the best solution normally is the PVC, because one, they are affordable. Another material you can just use are troughs. They are made from dam liners.
Okay.
They are made from dam liners. So you can be able to customize a simple hydroponic system using those troughs.
All right.
Yep.
And do we have any other different crop that you've planted here, or it's just? I think this is the kales.
This is curly kales. We have curly kales here.
Yes.
We have broccoli. We also have some herbs. We have mint. We have thyme. We quite have some range, and the cucumber I've just shown you.
Okay.
So that's what we have currently.
Let's move. And what motivates the colors that you have put on top of the colors that are there, the paintings that are there on these towers that you have? Is there any motivation behind it, or it's a color that you prefer?
Absolutely, there's a motivation, and what we try to achieve is we want to have both ornamental aspect and the food. So
Yes.
what we do is, as a client, we ask you, now, what color theme do you want? Because you can as well understand that many people, even in urban areas, they will not produce using this tower garden because they lack food or they cannot buy from groceries. But they are looking for gratification, they are looking for something extra, which is the ornamental aspect. Say you have a color theme of blue in your compound, you can align with it. So one, the customer preference. Two, as we have standard color, which is green, and we have found it acceptable to majority of clients because I think it aligns well with the color of plants, which is green.
Yes.
And the other colors that we don't do, like we don't do gray, we don't do black.
Okay.
And the reason is very justified. They absorb a lot of heat, meaning you'll keep adding a lot of water, the water consumption increases. And then when it's hot, you realize the plants withers because the temperatures becomes very high inside the pipe. So we avoid dark colors. However, also bright colors. There are bright colors that attract pests, depending on where you are. If you put a yellow or orange tower, the high chances that it is going to attract pest, butterfly, because they are able to see. So those are the main reasons that inform the color that we choose.
Right. So you've been doing this for 5 years?
Yes.
And 5 years is not a short time.
Sure.
In your encounter with the plants along this system, when you look at how this particular system has been embraced by farmers in Kenya, what do you think needs to be done more in order for it at least to be embraced? Because I believe the way you said earlier, a lawyer, a doctor, someone who works on a regular basis, but they want to have such a system. Is it being embraced the way it's supposed to be, or there's still some awareness that needs to be put out there?
Absolutely. There's a lot of awareness. However, I found it very interesting that Kenyans have embraced this in a very big way. And the good thing is, you see the Western technology. If you go to YouTube, online, you realize that most of these technologies have come with a pump, come with some technologies that probably keep a lot of people off. But with this kind of, we have been able to localize or Africanize those solutions and attract people into this kind of farming. However, there is a little bit of more work that needs to be done in terms of awareness. There's a lot of awareness because quite a lot of people don't know that they are kind of a solution. I have so many instances where someone calls and asks, hey, I thought these things are only found abroad. And no, look, like we are here.
Yes.
So there is a gap in between where that is information gap, awareness to know, one, you can be able to do this, it is affordable. Also, we also needed to be able to provide incentives to ensure that we subsidize the production and cut the cost of production and make this as affordable. I wish I would be 1,000 shillings. We would be able to produce for 1,000 shillings. That everyone, regardless of the economic status, can produce their own food.
All right. Now, let's move from the farm.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned earlier that you make these towers yourself as hydroponic gardens, eco-hydroponic gardens. So, where do you usually make them, and how can people find them?
We have an office along Thika Garissa Road where we operate from. It's just past Leather Industries on your way to Landless. Also, we also have a demo farm in Kisii Estate, that is just behind Makongeni along Thika Garissa Road. That's where we showcase and plant different types of plants for people to come and see. But in our offices, in our workshop, that's where we do all this. We cut the pipes, shape them, the whole process. And also, it is also our dispatch center. Say we have orders for Mombasa, Coast, wherever, every part of the country. It is dispatched from that office.
All right. Yeah. So even as we speak about this, durability of this tower, how durable is it?
Yes.
And when we look at wear and tear, when someone has bought it, how long is it able to stay?
Yes.
Because we've spoken about the balcony, and you see there's all types of manner of things that usually happen. There's rains, wind, and everything else. So durability of this.
The durability is quite long. Its utility is very long because we give you a guarantee of 7 years. 7 years is a long time.
So it's going to stay for 7 years?
7 years, even more than that, unless it's broken. But we just give it a lifespan of 7 years, unless it's broken. But it can stay as long as you take care of it. So it's really the value. And then the fact that it's portable, you are living here today, and then you shift to another city or estate, you carry along with your tower gardens.
All right. Yep. So finally, even as we come to a close,
yes.
You know, we are in the digital age, and the online platforms are full of everything, especially TikTok. When you go to Facebook, and let's stick to TikTok first and look at, so how has the online platform helped you do this type of farming? Because this is farming that is really popular, especially among the young people, among people, university students who are trying to make something on the side for themselves as well. So give us a little bit about that.
Sure. TikTok or social media or the new emerging communication platform have given us quite a head start in terms of breaking even all venturing into the market. Why? Something like TikTok, the algorithm is set in a way that if you have a good video, it's going to trend, it's going to go viral, meaning you are able to capture a bigger audience, you're able to prospect in a bigger way at a very small budget. Like in our case, courtesy of TikTok, we actually don't even have a marketer. We focus on content. We did a project somewhere. We go and take very nice videos, post on TikTok, post on Twitter, on our social media platforms, and therein, and I can tell you 99% of our clients come mainly from TikTok, because it's very easy to move around, and also most of the people are online. Majority of the communities are all online. Actually, it's basically more than 80% of the population right now is all online. So it is such a very big factor for us. We focus, it's the main lifeline for us, that social media is the main platform that we use to get our clients. And in our social media like TikTok, we are Eco-Hydroponics in both TikTok and Twitter and Facebook. Eco-Hydroponics or Eco-Hydroponic Gardens.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, there you have it. Eco-hydroponic system of farming. You've heard from Dan himself and what social media can do in order to help you as a farmer out there to get to the market. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. Remember, every Tuesday we take you to the market, and we also start from the farm in order for you to understand the nitty-gritties when it comes to systems of farming. Let's meet next Tuesday, same time, same place, right here on KTN Farmers TV.
Tufanye kazi pamoja na pamoja